But first, stocks ending lower in the final trading session of 2009 as another economic report pointed toward recovery. For more details on today's market trade, let's go to Deborah Kostroun at the NYSE. Deborah.
Thanks a lot, Pim. And yes, we closed out 2009 on a bit of a down note. We saw selling most of the day, but then near the closing bell, the markets declined, really accelerating. And the news that we got was we saw this decrease in jobless claims, and that really kind of added to evidence that the economy is improving and improving enough to maybe allow the Federal Reserve to withdraw more stimulus. And with all the talk about all the jobs lost, the talk about the economy in despair earlier in the year, we actually made quite a turnaround to close out 2009. For the major averages, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 18.8% for the year. The S&P up 23, almost 23.5%. And in fact, we close out the S&P with that benchmark still trading at 24 times earnings. That's still the most expensive level since 2002. And of course, for the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ, it was our best year since 2003. So our best year for our major averages in 6 years. And the NASDAQ up almost 44% for the year. Taking a look at some of the best performers for the year in the S&P 500, what you did see, XL Capital, the biggest gainer, and almost a five-fold advance. This was after the company did a lot of cost saving and some asset moving around. That led to a profit return. You can see some pretty nice returns for many of these stocks. Some of the worst performers, let's take a look at those. You may not be surprised. Marshall and Ilsley, also Citibank, and also Huntington Bancshares actually closing out or among some of the worst performing stocks in the S&P in 2009, thanks to defaults on commercial and residential property loans, which may cause further declines into 2010. Banks actually accounted for 7 of the 10 worst performers in the S&P. But when you take a look at what has been going on since March the 9th, of course, that was kind of the end of the bear market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up a whopping 59%, the S&P up 64% since March the 9th, and the NASDAQ up 58% since March the 9th. So we made some pretty good gains for the year in total. That's it from here, Pim. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Deborah Kostroun, and Happy New Year to you.